Welcome back to Senior Garden Guide. If you spent last season fighting a losing battle against stubborn weeds, you probably know that familiar, sharp twinge at the base of your thumb. You firmly pinch a weed, twist your wrist, yank upward against that hard soil, and suddenly your joints are throbbing for the rest of the day. That burning sensation, right where your thumb meets your hand, can linger for hours, turning what should be a peaceful morning in the garden into something you start to dread. Relying on sheer grip strength to keep your garden clear turns a joyful afternoon into a painful chore. But what if you didn't have to pull every weed or lug around heavy sprayer tanks to protect your vegetables? Picture this instead. You're sitting comfortably on your patio with a cup of coffee, looking out at a thriving raised bed full of beautiful tomatoes and peppers. The walkways are clean, the plants are healthy, and you didn't spend your afternoon on your knees with aching hands because you let the plants do the work for you. Today, we are going to look at how plants naturally defend themselves underground through their own invisible chemical systems. By the end of this video, I'm going to share a simple zero-effort brewing method that actually uses the weeds you do pull to permanently suppress the ones trying to sprout, all without harsh chemicals. It's completely pet-safe, incredibly easy on the joints, and adds a brilliant layer of protection to your walkways. But first, let's talk about the invisible turf war happening right under your tomatoes. Most of us choose where to plant our summer vegetables based on sunlight. We look for that sunny spot along the fence or near the edge of the yard and assume that's the perfect place for tomatoes. But we're completely unaware of what's happening underground. Plant roots don't just sit there passively soaking up water. They're active, they're communicating, and in some cases, they're waging a quiet chemical war for resources. Here's a common mistake that costs gardeners their entire tomato harvest, and they never understand why. Let's say you plant your tomatoes near the perimeter of an older tree, maybe a black walnut that's been in your yard for decades. You water consistently, you fertilize, but within a few weeks, your tomato plants start to yellow. The leaves curl. They wilt, even though the soil is moist. You assume it's a watering problem, or maybe a nutrient deficiency, so you add more fertilizer. But nothing helps. The plants just slowly decline. What's actually happening is underground chemical warfare. That black walnut tree is releasing a compound called juglone through its roots. Juglone is a natural respiratory inhibitor. It essentially suffocates the roots of nearby plants, so the massive tree doesn't have to compete for water. This chemical can travel through the soil in a radius of up to 50 feet. Your tomatoes never stood a chance, not because you did anything wrong, but because you unknowingly planted them in a chemical battlefield. Now, before you try to fix a wilting tomato with more fertilizer, you need to understand the fascinating way these roots actually talk to each other. This process is called allelopathy, and it's one of nature's most efficient survival strategies. Some plants use it aggressively, like that black walnut, to dominate their territory. But other plants use it defensively to protect their neighbors. And that's where the lazy smart gardening strategy comes in. Think of plant roots as active chemical engineers. They're constantly releasing compounds into the soil. Some of these compounds are designed to suppress competitors. Others are designed to repel pests. French marigolds, for example, release a sulfur-containing compound called alpha-terthioneal through their roots. When microscopic root-destroying worms, called root knot nematodes, encounter this chemical in the soil, it disrupts their nervous system. These tiny pests, which would normally burrow into your tomato roots and cause devastating damage, simply avoid the area. Think of marigolds as tiny underground bouncers for your tomato plants. They stand at the door of the root system and politely but firmly tell the neighborhood pests that they aren't on the guest list tonight. The beauty of this system is that it requires zero effort from you. Once it's in place, the marigolds do the work automatically, 24 hours a day, all season long. So instead of fighting pests with heavy, exhausting pump sprayers that strain your shoulders and wrists, we use what I call allelopathic shielding. Here's exactly how to set it up. Plant a protective ring of French marigolds directly around your tomatoes. Space them exactly 12 inches apart. For a visual, that's just about the length of a standard wooden ruler. One healthy French marigold provides active protection in a 12 to 24-inch radius, so you don't need to crowd them. If you have a raised bed that's 4 feet by 8 feet, you can protect the entire bed with just 12 to 14 marigold plants. That's it. You plant them once, and they work all summer. Now, a quick note on timing and climate. This strategy thrives in USDA zones 2 through 11, which covers nearly the entire United States. However, both marigolds and tomatoes are frost sensitive. Wait until your soil temperatures have comfortably reached 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit in the late spring before putting them in the ground. If you're in the Midwest or northern states, that usually means late May or early June. If you're in Florida, Texas, or Arizona, you can start earlier, but always cover them with a light frost blanket if a late cold snap is forecasted. And if you have pets, here's an important safety note. While marigolds are generally safe, tomato leaves and stems are toxic to dogs and cats. If you have a curious dog that likes to nibble on plants, simply place a lightweight, decorative wire cloche over your young vegetable plants, and you can remove it once the plants are tall and established. Now remember, this biological shielding is a cumulative process, not an instant fix. Planting a marigold today will not immediately reverse a severe, full-blown nematode infestation that's been building in your soil for years. What it does is give your plants a fighting chance and strengthen their natural defenses over time. You still need to practice basic care, like proper spacing for airflow, consistent watering, and removing damaged leaves. But you're adding a powerful, nature-aligned layer of protection that works quietly in the background while you relax. Let's take a quick break for the comments. I'd love to hear from your experience. When it comes to straining your hands, what is your absolute hardest weed to pull? Type A for dandelions or B for crabgrass down below. Now, earlier I mentioned a way to turn the weeds you do pull into a natural defense system, so you don't have to keep straining your thumbs week after week. This is the final piece of the puzzle, and it's honestly one of the smartest, laziest tricks I've ever used. Instead of bagging up those aggressive weeds and hauling them to the curb, which is heavy, exhausting work, we are going to drown them and put them to work for us. Here's the method. Grab a standard 5-gallon bucket. That holds about the exact volume of a standard office water cooler jug. Fill it with water, then submerge your pulled weeds completely. Dandelions, crabgrass, chickweed, whatever you've yanked out. Let this mixture sit in a sunny spot in your yard for about 3 weeks. As the weeds break down and ferment, they release their own natural germination-inhibiting chemicals. Essentially, you're creating a concentrated allelopathic tea. After 3 weeks, strain out the plant sludge. You can toss that into your compost pile or your yard waste bin. What you're left with is a nutrient-rich, weed-suppressing liquid. Pour about 1 quart, that's about 4 standard kitchen measuring cups, of this weed tea directly over your garden paths and walkways. This naturally suppresses new weed seeds from sprouting in those high-traffic areas. The beauty of this system is that it's completely free. You're using materials you already have. You're not buying expensive herbicides or spending money on commercial weed barriers. And you're not bending over repeatedly to pull the same weeds week after week, which is what really destroys your hands and knees over time. By letting your marigolds act as underground bouncers and using weed tea to manage your pathways, you are letting nature do the heavy lifting. You can finally enjoy a thriving, beautiful garden from the comfort of your patio chair, without the throbbing thumbs and stiff wrists at the end of the day. Imagine sitting outside on a warm June evening, watching your grandkids play safely near the garden, knowing that your tomatoes are protected, your paths are clear. That's the kind of peace of mind that makes gardening joyful again. If you found these lazy smart tips helpful for your hands, please hit that subscribe button to join the Senior Garden Guide community. And don't forget to let me know in the comments whether dandelions or crabgrass are giving you the most grief. Take care of yourselves and happy gardening.